Hello students, I am Vishal, one of the directors of ClatPrep. So in this video, again we are going to do the analysis of the second mock which was conducted on 20th of June 2021. That is our second mock, our score booster series, right? In the previous video where we did the analysis and I gave you an overall idea about the scores and the ranks and the various parameters on which you have to judge your scores. So likewise in today's video also, in the second mock, what scores were required to get into the top NLUs, let us discuss. But before we move ahead, again I would like to throw some light why analysis is required. Like in the previous video I said you that analysis basically helps you to strategize for the coming mocks. Why am I repeating is that because there are certain students who have joined us second mock onwards, right? So for them this is important to understand and realize that analysis of each and every mock you give, whether it is our open mock or the mocks you have already given, that is very very important. Analysis से क्या होता है, आपको आइडिया मिलता है what are the areas to be worked upon, right, and how to strategize for the coming mocks. Now, on what parameters you need to analyze the mock? There are 6 parameters जहां पर आप judgment ले सकते हो. पहला, your overall score. क्या आपका जो ओवरऑल स्कोर आया है वो उस मॉक के अकॉर्डिंग डिसेंट स्कोर है? Do we need to work more so that we get our desired score? Do we need to actually improve on certain areas, on certain sections so that our overall score keeps on improving? Then coming to the rank gives you your relative performance as compared to the other students. Even if my overall score is my desired score, it is quite possible that the rank was not desired. So it is quite possible that इस मॉक के लेवल के हिसाब से जो आपका ओवरऑल स्कोर आया है वो कम भी हो सकता है या फिर ओवरऑल स्कोर एक्चुअली बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा आ गया हो. Can be on the either side, but then you have to judge relatively with the performance of the others, and that can be done through your rank. Coming to the third point, which is sectional analysis. Very very important to judge which section is something which you need to work on and which is your area of forte. So something which is your area of forte, वहाँ पर obviously आपको capitalize करना है, लेकिन जो आपके weak areas हैं, we have to improve on those areas as well, such that at least a decent score on an average score जो आना चाहिए वो हम उसको score कर ले, right? But one thing I would like to talk about sections. There are certain students who are under the impression that, let's say for example, legal is my forte. So in the legal section, if I attempt around all the questions, let's say 38 questions or at least 35 questions, and I devote let's say 35 minutes, then I need to devote my 35 minutes. It is not necessary, because it quite depends on the level of the paper in that particular mock. It is quite possible that legal section in this particular mock has been tough. So आपको क्या करना है, आपको ये रियलाइज करना है कि लीगल सेक्शन अगर टफ आया है, then there must be some other section which is easy. So you need to identify and then you need to actually lower down the time limit for the legal section and compensate that time to the other section so that you can capitalize on the easier section. ये हमें नहीं लेकर के चलना है क्योंकि मैंने सोच के रखा है लीगल को मैं 35 मिनट्स दूंगा तो 35 मिनट्स देना ही है. अगर लेवल है पेपर का और अगर आपको लगता है कि इट इज़ ईजी इनफ एंड वी शुड डिवोट दैट मच टाइम सो दैट वी कैन एक्चुअली स्कोर वेल, तो बिल्कुल दीजिए. अदरवाइज प्लीज स्विच. ये ज़रूरी है रियलाइज करना, क्योंकि ये स्ट्रैटेजी आपके उस वक्त डिसाइड होगा जब आप एक्चुअली मॉक अपीयर कर रहे होंगे. सो डिपेंड्स फ्रॉम पेपर टू पेपर, राइट? नथिंग हैज़ टू बी टेकन ऑन योर ईगो. अगर आपका फोटे है डजेंट मीन कि टफ नहीं आ सकता. टफ आएगा तो वो सबके लिए टफ है, और अगर वो इजी है तो वो सबके लिए इजी है. प्लीज ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड. सो यू नीड टू लर्न द आर्ट ऑफ स्विचिंग फ्रॉम वन सेक्शन टू अदर एट द राइट टाइम, right? Then coming to the number of attempts, and at the same time when you talk about the number of attempts, you need to talk of your accuracy level as well. आपने कितने attempt किए, उसमें से कितने attempts genuine जो आपके थे वो correct हुए हैं, और कितने attempts ऐसे थे जो शायद अगर आपने flukes लिए हैं तो उसमें कितने गलत हो गए. वो flukes attempts चाहे correct हो चाहे गलत हो उससे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, but genuine attempts कितने correct हुए हैं that matters a lot, right? Then coming to number of unattempted questions. क्या नंबर ऑफ अनअटेम्प्टेड क्वेश्चंस एक्चुअली मैटर करता है? यस, इट मैटर्स अ लॉट, बिकॉज यू नीड टू एनालाइज वन थिंग दैट जो आपने क्वेश्चन अनअटेम्प्टेड छोड़ा है, was it actually worth enough to be left? क्या वो ऐसे क्वेश्चंस थे जिसको एक्चुअली मैं अगर अटेम्प्ट करता तो आई कुड हैव स्कोर्ड ऑन दैट पार्ट, एंड दैट इज something which can be realized only when you do the proper analysis of the mocks. और अगर ये analysis आप करते हो तो probably आप इन mistakes को वापस repeat नहीं करोगे. And finally coming to the last point which is explanation. Explanations आपको ये बताता है कि आपके thought process में और एक्चुअल आंसर्स में, एक्सप्लेनेशंस में क्या डिफरेंस है. इवन इफ यू आर डूइंग अ क्वेश्चन करेक्टली, फिर भी एक्सप्लेनेशन इज ए मस्ट. वाई मस्ट? बिकॉज उसमें भी कई बार डिफरेंस आ सकता है, जिसकी वजह से इट इज़ क्वाइट पॉसिबल इस बार तो करेक्ट हो गया लेकिन प्रोबेबली नेक्स्ट टाइम करेक्ट ना हो. तो एक्सप्लेनेशन इज ए मस्ट. और ऑब्वियसली अगर आपने किसी क्वेश्चन के रॉन्ग आंसर दिए हैं, योर आंसर इज रॉन्ग, सो यू नीड टू सी व्हाई इट वेंट रॉन्ग. द व्हाई फैक्टर हैज़ टू बी टेकन आउट, एंड ऑन दैट बेसिस ओनली आप अगली बार वो रिपीट नहीं करोगे मिस्टेक. Right, so these were the parameters on which we talked about in the previous video as well. So I repeated this only for those students who have joined us from second mock onwards. Right, now the ones who have already given the first mock, I believe that you all have done the analysis of that mock. You might have certain takeaways from that mock. You must have learnt which questions were supposed to be left, which are the kind of passages या genre of the passages on which I need to work on. कौन से genre of passages में सबसे ज़्यादा comfortable हूँ when I talk about RC section or CR section. What were the silly mistakes I committed so that I don't repeat in the coming mocks. ये बिल्कुल आपने किया होगा analysis, and I believe that आने वाले mocks में भी आप इस चीज़ को बिल्कुल continue करेंगे because this is very very important. Now coming to the analysis of the second mock which we conducted on 20th of June 2021, if I talk about the level of the difficulty, then I would consider the entire paper as moderate. This was a moderate paper wherein the expected score from each and every student here was 95 and above. The highest score in this mock was 120.5, and the range of the top 100 scorers की अगर मैं बात करूं, it was from 85.25 to 120.5. So 85.25 इस बार का टॉप 100 का स्कोरर्स है. ये रेंज इस बार ऊपर चला गया है क्योंकि पिछली बार का जो मॉक था वो था मॉडरेट टू डिफिकल्ट साइड पर, इस बार इट इज मॉडरेट. सो ऑब्वियसली द रेंज ऑफ स्कोर्स हैज टू बी अ लिटिल हायर. Right, the median score this time is 43.75, which has improved like anything. 43.75 and 50% of the students, median score जैसे मैंने पिछली बार भी बताया था, 50% of the students have scored at least 43.75, मतलब 43.75 or above, and 50% of the students were this or below this 43.75. ठीक है. Then अगर coming to the expected NLU कि आपको किस स्कोर पे कौन सा NLU में सीट मिल जाता. सो इफ यू स्कोर 104 प्लस इन दिस मॉक, you will definitely get a seat in NLSIU Bangalore. ठीक है. Then if I talk about Nalsar Hyderabad, it was 101 and above. For Kolkata, you had to score 98 and above. Then to Bhopal, 94, and then coming to Jodhpur is 92 plus. Right. So for the top 5 NLUs, 92 at minimum was required. Then if I talk about the top 10 NLUs, आपको कम से कम 88 का स्कोर लाना चाहिए था. And to get an admission in any of the NLU, मतलब कोई भी NLU आपको allocate हो जाए, then that score would have been 80 and above. Right, so this is the overall analysis कि इतना स्कोर तो आपको चाहिए था कम से कम. तो इन स्कोर्स पे बेसिस पर जज कीजिए कि वेयर डू यू स्टैंड राइट नाउ. राइट, और अकॉर्डिंगली फिर वर्क कीजिए आफ्टर द एनालिसिस इज डन कि हमें कौन से एरियाज पे और इम्प्रूव करना है. Now coming to the sectional analysis here, the first section was English. The level of difficulty of this section I would rate it as English easy to moderate. English was easy to moderate, wherein the highest scorer was 26.75 and the range of the scores for the top 100 scorers were 20 to 26.75. So इस बार अच्छा स्कोर है. 20 अगर लोअर साइड पर है for the top 100 scorers, so obviously this section was deemed to be leveled at easy difficulty of level. ठीक है, easy to moderate हो गई. Then median score इस बार 5.75 था इंग्लिश में. Coming to the sectional breakup for the number of questions which fell under the category of easy questions were 14. There were 8 questions which I would rate it as easy to moderate, and then 7 questions which were specifically rated as moderate, and then one difficult question was there. So as per the expert, the ideal score for this particular section was 20 plus, which was easily manageable. Then coming to the next section, which was current affairs as per the order given in your paper. So level of difficulty, again I would say it was again easy to moderate. The highest scorer scored the 37, that was the top score, and this is the maximum marks which one can achieve in this particular section. 37 के 37 score उन्होंने लिया है. Then median score for this section was 12.75, while the scores for the top 100 scorers is in the range of 26.25 to 37. So it was quite on the easier side, to be very frank, because अगर आप top 100 scorers को analyze करते हो, 26.25 to 37 का score आ रहा है. Then coming to the number of questions, number of easy questions were 20, number of moderate questions were 16, and there was one difficult question. So as per the expert, the ideal score was 24 and above, and it was again easily manageable because you had 20 questions easy and 16 questions moderate. तो अगर आप इन दोनों से questions को ही देखते हैं इन level of difficulty के, तो 24 plus easily manageable था इस बार current affairs में. Then coming to the legal knowledge section. Legal knowledge, the level of difficulty I would rate it as moderate, right? And the highest scorer here was 36.75 out of 38, as you know. The median score was 11.5, while the range of the scores for the top 100 scorers were 22.5 to 36.75. Now if I rate the level of difficulty of the questions here, तो यहाँ पर number of easy questions were 24. There were 7 questions which were rated as moderate and 7 questions difficult. ये जो 7 questions difficult की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, या कुछ questions जो moderate आए थे, they fell in the passages number 4 and passage number 6. So इन दो passage को आप फिर भी एक बार के लिए avoid कर सकते थे if you are not that strong at legal, right? Then coming to the next section, which was reasoning. इस बार का reasoning section was quite easy and one could have scored 20 plus very easily. It was a very manageable score in this particular mock. यहाँ पर level of difficulty इसलिए रखा भी easy है reasoning के लिए, because चाहे आप analytical portion की बात करें या आप critical portion की बात करें, both were rated as easy questions. Highest scorer scored 28.75, which is a extremely good score in this particular section. Then coming to the median score, it was 8, and to the range of top 100 scorers, if I talk about, it was 21.5 to 28.75. Now mind you, critical reasoning is something which is very subjective, and even if this subjective section you can score more than 21.5, मतलब top 100 scorers अगर 21.5 and above score कर रहे हैं, then obviously this particular section will fall under the category of easy. Coming to the number of questions which fell under the category of easy questions, it was 21. There were 7 questions which I would rate it as moderate, and there were 2 questions which fell under the category of difficult questions. Though it was not that difficult, it fell slightly on the difficult side. Moderate to difficult कहूँगा actually में. Then an expert's ideal score here was 22 and above, which was easily manageable this time. Now coming to the last section, that is quantitative techniques. The level of difficulty would be rated as easy to moderate. Highest scorer scored 15, that is the total, which is the maximum which can one can achieve. Coming to the median score this time was 1.25, and the range of top scorer 100 scorer was 9.75 to 15. पिछली बार मॉक 1 में जैसा मैंने आप लोगों को कहा था, QT is one section जहां पर आपका फोकस होना चाहिए. Probably कुछ लोगों ने इसको सुना है, that is why the median score has also improved from 0 to 1.25, and the range of top scorer has gone from 9.75 to 15. And like previous time, it was more than 90%. In fact, 90% of the students, they scored below 5, but in this mock it is more than 25% students who scored 5 and above. So there is a certain improvement in the tendency of the students to score, attempt the QT section. So that is something good. अब इसको कंटिन्यू करना है आपको, क्योंकि QT सेक्शन ऐसा है, मैंने आपको लास्ट वीडियो एनालिसिस में भी कहा था, यू कैन हैव एन एज ओवर अदर स्टूडेंट्स, मतलब ये गैप क्रिएट करता है, राइट? सो Coming to the level of difficulty of the questions, there were 9 easy questions out of 15. अगर 9 easy questions हैं तो obviously इतना तो score करना बनता था, right? Then coming to moderate questions, there were 5 questions moderate and there was 1 question which was rated as difficult. An ideal score for this particular section would be 10 and above. Right, so this was the overall analysis for the second mock which was held on 20th of June. Wait for the third mock which will be conducted on 23rd, and again we'll come with the analysis of the third video. In that video I'll see if I can make a comparative analysis of all the 3 mocks together so that you can actually analyze yourself कि हमारा तीनों mocks में average score क्या था, average कितना होना चाहिए था, and what is the ideal score level on an average जिसके बेसिस पे मैं ये जज कर सकूं कि मेरा प्रिपरेशन लेवल कैसा है. टिल दैट, थैंक यू, बाय बाय.